Alright, what's up, y'all? I am back with some more boxing. Alright, let's get right to it. I'm going to come up with this good topic for today of 5 opponents that Edgar Berlanga should be fighting. So, for those of you that don't know, Edgar Berlanga is a Puerto Rican up-and-coming prospect. He is a super middleweight. He was originally middleweight, but I guess he got too big, so my boy, he's up in the super middleweight division. Which he's a very good fighter. He knows what to do in the ring. And honestly, he has a lot of good talent. See now, Edgar Berlanga has a lot of power in his punches, but he's not just a power puncher. He is a boxer. This guy knows how to get down. He knows how to make people break. And every single one of his fights have all been first round KOs. So I believe he has like another fight coming December 19th or December 17th. I'm not too sure. I've kind of kept up with his Instagram here and there, but I know he has fights. He has a fight lined up sometime in December. See now, I'm going to just talk about his possible next 5 opponents he can fight if he really wants to. And I don't know if he is in those discussions, but here are my personal 5 opponents that he should probably go after, which I have made changes, so please forgive me, which I know I've probably talked about them in the past. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to bring out my possible 5 opponents for Edgar Berlanga. So, number 1 is Steven Nelson, who is 17-0. That is with Top Rank. But this guy is a very good veteran level fighter. I don't really like him that much because I don't think he's that good of a fighter, to be honest. But this is a very decent opponent for a step-up fight with Edgar Berlanga. This guy has punching power. He's never been KO'd. But I will say, with his most recent fight with DeAndre Ware gave him some problems. But I think that's something that Berlanga... this is someone that Berlanga can probably go some rounds with. This guy has never been in any decisions, or he's never been in such a long, driven fight. He's never been in like a high level 10-rounder fight, but due to the ratio of his knockouts, he is a very dangerous puncher. And I've seen this guy fight on like a couple Top Rank cards, but he's not like the most interesting fighter in the world, but he's almost similar to Linnell Bellows in a way that Berlanga faced. But I think Steven would have like a much better outing with his with his more aggressive, punching, skill set to give Berlanga those problems. So that's just opponent number 1. Opponent number 2 would be Ali Akhmedov. Ali, this guy is a really good Kazakhstani 25-year-old Orthodox fighter. Oh, also Steven, he's also a Orthodox fighter, but Ali is a very crafty Orthodox fighter coming out of Kazakhstan. He has a lot of good punching ability with how he sets up his jabs. His footwork is really, really good. He can really make you think about what he's going to do, but he's very awkward with it. And I think this is a very good opponent that that Edgar Berlanga should be fighting. And granted, don't get it twisted. Berlanga has been sending offers to probably all of these guys. It would not surprise me if a guy like Steven Nelson is avoiding Berlanga for the same reason why Ali Akhmedov or any of these guys that I will probably mention on my list that probably don't want to fight him. So if you are a fan of these guys, I encourage you to go out and actually tell these guys and their team to try to make these fights with Edgar Berlanga, because Berlanga, he is wanting all the smoke. He wants all the he basically wants Mortal Kombat. He basically wants to dominate. He wants to conquer every single realm, and those realms are his divisions. And I'm actually happy enough that David Benavidez came out to even call out Berlanga. And guess what Berlanga said? Set up that fight. You want me? Then come on. Let's go. So it's good that a guy like David Benavidez came out of his way to give Berlanga that opportunity to say, I will fight you when you are ready to be, I guess, a contender. But it's like none of these guys that are at that title contention list have probably even told Berlanga to have even basically none of these guys that are soon to be world title contenders or that are world title contenders have came out of their way to tell Berlanga to get out of the way. This is my opportunity. You're not going to take over my shot of becoming a world champion. So it's just really weird that Berlanga wants all the smoke, but it's like all of his contemporaries are not coming out, which, that's just very weird. And that doesn't make any sense, because you ought to think of boxing. Of course, people that think that they are better than you should always call you out to say, hey man, this is my career legacy. You need to get out of my way so I can start becoming champion sooner, because you don't deserve that belt. I deserve it. And that's what boxing needs. And I think it's really weird that Berlanga is not even outed out by any rivals or people that probably want him. But hey, that's why, they call him the monster. But I'm going to call him the Puerto Rican monster. Or no, I don't call him the Puerto Rican monster. I call him the Taino monster. Because that's what he is. Even though Tainos, they're good people and they had the fierce battles. But nah, that's what Berlanga is. He's a warrior. He is the Taino nightmare. He is the night wolf. The night wolf of not being seen and being too ruthless and brutal. He brings brutalities 24/7. He doesn't let you live. He makes you suffer and die. But let's go on with the next opponent. Sorry for me rambling. The next opponent that should be a good test for Berlanga would be Zach Parker out of the UK. Reason why I say this is because this guy went to war with some really good opponents, by the way, which I wouldn't say they are the best opponents, but the best opponents was Rohan Murdoch. He KO'd him. I believe he fought... didn't he fight Ted Cheeseman? No, Cheeseman, I think he's a 154 guy. Yeah, he's a 154 guy, but... yeah, this guy doesn't really have too much of a... sorry about that, guys. Yeah, this guy doesn't have too much of a big... too much of a big resume. He beat Darryl Williams, Luke Blackledge, that was a decent... well, no, that wasn't a decent fight. That was an easy fight. Honestly, yeah, I think the reason why I even chose Zach Parker was because this guy has 13 KOs, and he has a good style that would match up well with Berlanga. But I think either way, it would be a very it would be a very good test for Berlanga to see where he's at against a guy that is big, strong. He comes at you, he gives you pressure, he makes sure that he kind of cuts you off in the ring, and he doesn't give you that much leverage for you to get back up and try to reset your combinations or even try to set yourself up for good shots to stun your opponents and break them down. But I think Zach Parker would be a very good opponent for Berlanga. The fourth opponent would be Jose Uzateki. The reason why I chose this opponent is because Uzateki is a very lean, very slick fighter. The reason why I put this guy on is because Uzateki would give you some really crazy shots when he puts you in a position where you don't want to get hit. Reason why I say this is because there are just there are certain things out of his style that would be a type of fight that Berlanga would probably be in deep waters with. And I like how Uzateki likes to work to the body and then he brings it upstairs. And he's very crafty with how he throws his punches and creates more space on the outside to work for bigger shots. Um, and he I guess another good advantage for Uzateki would be that he has more range. And granted, Berlanga, he's only what? I think, let's see. I think he is only, I think he's 5'11", if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Berlanga's 6'1". His reach is at a 73. But Uzateki is, let's see. I'm pretty sure Uzateki could be shorter than him. No, he's 6'2". Oh, and he has a 76 reach. Yeah, he's very, very long. But yeah, this would be a very good fight for him because his last fight was against Lionel Thompson, which Thompson gave him a very, very tough battle. He's actually been a very good fighter. I'd actually say Lionel Thompson would be a good fight for Edgar Berlanga, but with the rate of his career going down, or I say with the state of his career coming to a late end of his prime, and now he's getting older, I don't think Lonnie would be that type of opponent that would be ready, that would give Edgar, a good fight. So I would say Uzateki would be a lot more marketable because Uzateki would have more of a huge advantage with his reach to give Berlanga the amount of problems that most people would say that is very problematic. But I think Uzateki would be a good fourth opponent for Edgar Berlanga. And that would be interesting because I think Berlanga has shown himself to be a very, good opponent for a lot of people. But then again, I think most opponents just don't want to mess with him because everything that he does with boxing turns into power punching, and Berlanga, he likes to switch it up. He mixes up a lot, and that's what creates a huge gap with his skill set with many other people that I believe that don't want to smoke with him. And even though that this may be risky, but this would be a very, very good fight that I'd say where he could either fight the champion or fight a top contender out of the top 10 or top 25. But I'm going to say for number 5, he needs to fight Willie Monroe Jr. Why do I say this? And why did I pick Willie Monroe? Because Willie Monroe Jr., he likes to pressure. He likes to use slick moves. He likes to get you to an uncomfortable setting, and he likes to chomp you down. Willie has great body work. He has great, jabs. He uses defense at an all-time high. So he's not that type of fighter to make things, I guess uncomfortable. And I like how he sets up his punches where he's very accurate with it, and he does not miss a punch. Like, Willie knows how to pick you down and make you feel a little bit uncomfortable in the fight, and then he takes advantage of it. So, it's good enough that, that Willie Monroe has those abilities. But I think if Berlanga could take out a guy like Willie Monroe, then that could be a very good test for Berlanga. And I would say to finalize this for the possible fifth opponent replacement for Willie Monroe, he could be next in line to just be that type of guy to face Caleb Plant. Shit, I may be dreaming, but guess what? Give this man a title shot. It's already been 16 fights. But I think, like, if anything, Caleb would be like, he would be shocked if Berlanga could actually hurt him and actually get him to a position where he cannot do anything to Berlanga because he's too damn strong. His durability is insane, and it would just make Caleb either quit on the stool or he would have to box perfect for 12 effing rounds. Which I think Berlanga, he should probably take a Willie Monroe Jr. fight before fighting Caleb Plant because, I'm not gonna doubt Caleb. He has hands. That's why they call him Sweet Hands for a reason. But a Willie Monroe Jr. fight would be pretty good. Or shit, even Billy Joel Saunders. I actually want to see Billy Joel Saunders get KO'd by Edgar Berlanga, but either way, it would be a very interesting fight to take advantage of and try to see where that would lie in the eyes of seeing the skill set out of Berlanga. Because either way, Berlanga, he has power, he has skill, and he could definitely use his ring IQ if he wants to. But those are my 5 opponents possibly for Edgar Berlanga. I would even go with Canelo. Honestly, Canelo, would just be that type of guy that Berlanga might need to fulfill his gemstone skill set as a fighter. But either way, it's just like, what else can I really say? Berlanga, he is definitely the boogeyman at 168. And if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. Other fighters I was originally thinking was, let's see, Betimir Mekzuliev. He's a very good fighter. Let's see, Anthony Sims Jr. He trains at a Kronk gym. He's not that far away from Edgar Berlanga on BoxRec. Make that fight happen. Let's see, who's that other guy? David Morrell. David Morrell. I would actually replace my number 2 guy with David Morrell. I think David Morrell and Edgar Berlanga, Puerto Rico and Cuba. Oh my God, that would be bombs, bro, absolute bombs. So that would be a very, very good fight between him and Berlanga. And other fights I was originally thinking, maybe Jack Cullen. I'm not too sure. I think Jack Cullen, he would get obliterated by Berlanga because he is not as built to like to his size compared to Berlanga's size. Berlanga would absolutely martyr him, and Jack Cullen, even though he doesn't have the best defense in the world, his offense would still not overpower, Berlanga's offense, and Berlanga would just break him down and make him feel like crap after like 1 to 2 punches. But I think either way, David Morrell, Betimir Mekzuliev, who's the other people? Maybe. Oh yeah, like maybe Romir Alexis Angulo, even though that he's an old guy, that would be a good fight. I'd probably say maybe guys like maybe Vladimir Shishkin. Maybe no, probably not. But I'd say moving up to the higher rankings or the higher level fighters like Fedor Chutinov or John Ryder or I'd probably go with Danny Jacobs, even though Jacobs is not that type of guy to probably fight a guy like Berlanga. But either way, those are some interesting names that I put out there, and I figured I'd put that out there for you guys to think about those possible fights to be made at 168 for Berlanga. So if you guys are interested, please let me know in the comments of what fights Berlanga should be fighting. And until then, I will see y'all later, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.